Welcome to Monroe Township, New Jersey. Monroe Township is located in Middlesex County, which you can see in the middle of the map. The population of my town is 44,314. Monroe Township High School has 2,093 students enrolled. The majority is white, but there is a big population of Indians, Asians, and African Americans. The school is 51% male and 49% female. Regarding religion in my town, there is a big Catholic, Jewish, and Hindu population. Around the holidays in December, my town sets up one of the largest menorahs in New Jersey, and also there's a celebration of Diwali, which is a Hindu holiday. In my high school, there are general education classes, special education, honors, AP, and ESL classes. I took mostly general education classes, but in high school I took 3 years of honors history. There was one ESL class in my school because of the Hispanic population from Jamesburg, which is the town over that attends our schools. Since English is the language spoken by the majority, I've seen some times where Hispanic students got left out because they didn't speak English that well. Cultural capital is defined as the skills, knowledge, and attitudes associated with the dominant culture. One part of this is the objectified state, which is the assets we possess that give us social mobility. I saw this in my school by how many kids drove Range Rovers, Audis, or BMWs. This was a big thing because it showed that you had a lot of money. Another thing was how you dressed. A lot of kids in my school wore designer clothes, and if you didn't have those same designer clothes, such as a Gucci belt or a nice purse, you didn't seem to fit in as much. Cultural capital affected my schooling experience because there was one point where I cared so much about what other people thought of me and cared so much about getting the best brands to wear. And if I did get it, I wanted to make sure that everyone saw I was wearing it. It took away from my schooling experience because I started to care more about clothes than my actual work. My ideology affected my schooling because I was raised to like whatever and not have it conform to a gender stereotype. For example, in elementary school, I preferred shirts from the boys section while all of my friends wore skirts and dresses to school. This made me more comfortable growing up because I didn't have any standards of what I thought a girl should wear. Something I can do in my future classroom to promote equitable learning experiences for all my students is to treat all of them equally and don't leave any of them out just because they are a certain race or a certain religion. Something I think is a great idea is to open up your classroom as a safe space for your students so they can come talk to you if they have a problem and they feel comfortable enough and trust you. Something else that I'd like to incorporate into my future classroom is a Teaching Tolerance website. This has many lesson plans for all ages to educate youth about diversity. Teaching tolerance from a young age allows them to have better relationships with their peers and teachers, and makes your classroom a safe space, knowing no hurtful comments will be said about others. The pedagogy my teaching will reflect is equity pedagogy. I really like Christopher Emdin's 5 C's in the classroom. One point I agree with most is co-teaching. Letting students teach part of the class is important because it helps students feel more confident knowing you trust them to take over. Also, it helps them learn the material better because they are the ones researching the subject. I will make sure the different kinds of privileges are muted in my classroom by not treating certain students better just because they are a certain race or anything else. I will also utilize the Teaching Tolerance website to educate my students. Some ideologies that I'll promote in my future classroom are not following gender stereotypes when it comes to colors. For example, I won't make the boys always pick blue or the girls always pick pink. I'll let my students express themselves however they want. Using these ideologies and pedagogies in my future classroom will help it become more of a safe and accepting environment for my students to learn in.